Hello, sports fans. Welcome to the Oklahoma Sports Report OU Football Edition. I'm Rick Heath. With me, Mark Rodgers. Mark, we are at the Cohiba Lounge, adjacent to, of course, Royal Pipes and Tobacco, where we have great cigars, great drinks, and a great sporting ventures on the tube. So OU comes back from a nice victory, 20-6 at Cincinnati. Your thoughts on the road victory?
I thought things could maybe have been a little bit better on the offensive side of the ball, but I understand some deep passes were missed. Still unable to run the football. 108 yards rushing, I think, was the total. So that's not very good. Defensively, gave up some yards, but Cincinnati has not been good in the red zone this year, and OU was able to hold them without a touchdown on the day. And so I think all in all, it's a pretty decent effort.
Well, it was. I mean, I was there. I got a chance to go and watch the game there at Nippert Stadium. It's a unique situation where, I mean, everybody's talked about it, but it's right smack in the middle of campus. On one side, you've got a practice fields and soccer fields, and the other side, the sports facility, and then the sports student union on the other side. It's all right there, very nice and quiet, but a good atmosphere. The Cincinnati people were into it until late in the third quarter, and then once OU started getting the lead and it wasn't going to turn, they left pretty early, but
next year you'll be going to Tiger Stadium. That'll be a little different.
It's a whole different deal. Yeah, Death Valley for a reason. But no, I thought, OU biggest problem is they still can't run the ball, and that is going to be. It's okay against Iowa State maybe coming up this weekend, against Cincinnati last weekend, but it's not going to be good against Texas. And so we'll talk more about that when we get back. But hey, let me tell you about Cohiba Lounge. They are celebrating and helping celebrate Joe Washington's 70th birthday this Friday, September 29th, with a Smoke Through a Keyhole special edition cigar unveiling, honoring Joe Washington with his 70th birthday. So be here Friday at 7 o'clock. Now, I know a lot of people won't see this until Saturday morning, but you missed it if you see it Saturday morning. But watch for us on YouTube and Facebook, and we'll tell you more about Joe Washington's 70th birthday party here at Cohiba Lounge. We'll be right back.
Let us help you get on your journey to feeling better and living a more healthy life. Dr. Gumman at Harmony Healing Center is dedicated to providing personalized care to each of his patients. Internationally trained and nationally recognized, with over 24 years of practice, Dr. Gumman is the highest recommended acupuncturist in Oklahoma. Call and schedule your appointment today.
Hi friends, did you know that over 80 million men and women suffer from hair loss? Well, now there's help. Dr. Victoria Johnson and her staff at Laser Light Skin Clinic are introducing a revolutionary laser hair loss treatment called Alma-TED. Alma-TED uses a proprietary laser that will help stop hair loss and promote growth. For more information, give Dr. Victoria Johnson and her staff at Laser Light a call and stop hair loss today.
You are the most beautiful creation under the sun. Daily Informations. You are going to make Table 14 so happy. And you are being taken away. All right. At Neighborhood Jam, you deserve breakfast as beautiful as you. So start the day right with scratch-made favorites. Morning or midday, every day. Treat yourself to Neighborhood Jam. You're gonna taste just as good tomorrow.
Oh man, dude, I really wish I could make that. It's National No Pants Day, and that'd be kind of inappropriate.
We actually just had gas station sushi, and you just don't want to chance that.
We're gonna be running tornado drills all day.
I have tickets to see Kenny Rodgers. He's what?
Tornado drill.
Your friends are tired of coming up with excuses. Two Fellas Moving Company, saving friendships since 1996.
Wander Folk Spirits, distilled out of Guthrie, Oklahoma. Great line of spirits. They have Wander Folk Gin, Wander Folk Vodka, and Old Moses Bourbon. All of these are quality products, and they're distilled right here in Oklahoma. So support Oklahoma business. Ask your favorite restaurant or bar to carry Wander Folk Spirits.
Let us help you get on your journey to feeling better and living a more healthy life. Dr. Gumman at Harmony Healing Center is dedicated to providing personalized care to each of his patients. Internationally trained and nationally recognized, with over 24 years of practice, Dr. Gumman is the highest recommended acupuncturist in Oklahoma. Call and schedule your appointment today.
Hi friends, did you know that over 80 million men and women suffer from hair loss? Well, now there's help. Dr. Victoria Johnson and her staff at Laser Light Skin Clinic are introducing a revolutionary laser hair loss treatment called Alma TED. Alma TED uses a proprietary laser that will help stop hair loss and promote growth. For more information, give Dr. Victoria Johnson and her staff at Laser Light a call and stop hair loss today. And welcome back, Oklahoma Sports Report. Mark Rodgers, Rick Heath from Cohiba Lounge, where they'll be celebrating Joe Washington's 70th birthday this Friday, and it's sponsored by Captain Morgan. Also on Saturday, game day beer tent and Bloody Mary bar by Tito's, where you can come and make your own Bloody Mary here at Cohiba Lounge on this Saturday. Mark, running the ball has been difficult, but it's been compounded, to me, it's been compounded by the fact that OU didn't even give the ball to two of their best running backs last Saturday. I don't understand that.
Well, I got to be honest with you. Everybody's got an opinion on the running backs, right? And DeMarco Murray is the running backs coach, and he sees more of them than anyone else. So I got to assume that he's playing the guys that he thinks are the best players, and he's also, based on what Brent Venables said at the weekly press conference, playing the guys that play the best in practice. So there's a meritocracy to it. And
meritocracy, I like that.
Yeah, you earn the merit in practice.
I wonder if the halfbacks can consider that a meritocracy.
Yes, you get to play in the game. So listen, I got an opinion too. I'm not a real big fan of Marcus Majors compared to some of the other guys, but Rick, if you look at the numbers, Javante Barnes hasn't done much this year when he's been in there. He's been given a little bit of an opportunity, hasn't done a whole lot. There's really no separation between those two guys. I understand that a couple of those guys were really highly recruited. Gavin Sawchuk has been facing injury issues since he's been at Oklahoma, but he did produce in a bowl game, maybe a little bit different scenario than playing, throughout the course of a regular season and earning playing time. The running backs could be better as a group, but I don't think that DeMarco Murray is putting a guy on the bench that's going to come in and be an All-American.
Well, okay. My point is, give them a try. Give them a shot.
Sawchuk hasn't played, I think, because of injury. Javante Barnes did play, and it wasn't great. He's averaging less than 3 yards a carry.
Well, he didn't play Saturday. Okay.
And then Tyree Walker didn't play
the game before
against
that.
Tulsa. Yeah. I'm saying that would have been a defense that you would think somebody would run.
Well, Marcus Majors didn't even get on the field against Tulsa.
Hey, it's hard to explain, but I say at some point in time, if something does go wrong, you put in an awkward position of criticizing a guy in DeMarco Murray that was a great player at Oklahoma and has been as good of a running backs recruiter as anybody in the country based on bringing the guys to campus. So I think this is one of those where you're just going to have to let things play out and see how it works.
And I understand that. It's kind of the same thing with the head coach being the defensive coordinator over being a head coach.
So far, so good this year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. At some point, you hope that good fortune follows through. But if it doesn't, then there's second guessers like me. They're going to raise their hand.
Absolutely, I think that's fair. That's fair. I just don't know that we've seen enough of the other players to know what was there.
Here's a perfect scenario for it though. Iowa State plays the 3-3-5 defense, giving OU trouble for years against really, really good quarterbacks, really good coaches. Now they have Dylan Gabriel's a really, really good quarterback. But do they have the type of offense they've had in the past? Probably not. But they will face that same 3-3-5 they have been unable to really do well against in the past. How's OU's offense going to do?
It's a good question. If I'm Iowa State, and the way that they did it to Lincoln Riley when he was here was we're going to drop guys back. You might present a front where you show run defense and then drop people back in the passing lanes, and therefore that kind of caused some confusion, especially the year that Kyler Murray played where OU's offense was so good. They went to Ames and just kind of, had a bad day for them scoring in the 30s. But they'll challenge OU to run the ball. And if they can stop Oklahoma's run with a light box, then that's going to be a tough team to beat.
That's my point. Was this is the week that OU really needs to run the ball, because if they drop everybody back, you're going to have 3 guys up front that you've got 5 offensive linemen to block. You should be able to run the ball.
I think just for film's sake, you want to show some versatility before you go into the Texas game. You want to give them something to think about.
Yeah, Texas something to think about. I'd rather give Iowa State something to think about this Saturday and show a good running game.
We'll talk about this, I know, when we come back, but the Iowa State offense probably going to have a difficult time against Oklahoma defense.
They will. And Dylan Gabriel had a good game against, I say a good game, an okay game against Cincinnati. 26-38, 322, but I watched it, and just like you said, it just wasn't an outstanding game offensively for OU. Hey, we are at Cohiba Lounge, adjacent to Royal Pipes and Tobacco, where you can get a fine cigar like this Smoke Through a Keyhole cigar, or Cohiba cigars, all the top name brands right here at Royal Pipes and Tobacco, adjacent to Cohiba Lounge. Your favorite cigar, your favorite drink, and your favorite sporting event, only at Cohiba Lounge. We'll be right back.
Let us help you get on your journey to feeling better and living a more healthy life. Dr. Gumman at Harmony Healing Center is dedicated to providing personalized care to each of his patients. Internationally trained and nationally recognized, with over 24 years of practice, Dr. Gumman is the highest recommended acupuncturist in Oklahoma. Call and schedule your appointment today.
Hi friends. Did you know that over 80 million men and women suffer from hair loss? Well, now there's help. Dr. Victoria Johnson and her staff at Laser Light Skin Clinic are introducing a revolutionary laser hair loss treatment called Alma-TED. Alma-TED uses a proprietary laser that will help stop hair loss and promote growth. For more information, give Dr. Victoria Johnson and her staff at Laser Light a call and stop hair loss today.
You are the most beautiful creation under the sun. Daily Informations. You are going to make Table 14 so happy. And you are being taken away.
All right. At Neighborhood Jam, you deserve breakfast as beautiful as you. So start the day right with scratch-made favorites, morning or midday, every day. Treat yourself to Neighborhood Jam.
You're gonna taste just as good tomorrow.
Oh man, dude, I really wish I could make that. It's National No Pants Day, and that'd be kind of inappropriate.
We actually just had gas station sushi, and you just don't want to chance that.
We're gonna be running tornado drills all day.
I have tickets to see Kenny Rodgers. He's what?
Tornado drill.
Your friends are tired of coming up with excuses. Two Fellas Moving Company, saving friendships since 1996.
Wonderfolk Spirits distilled out of Guthrie, Oklahoma. Great line of spirits. They have Wonderfolk Gin, Wonderfolk Vodka, and Old Moses Bourbon. All of these are quality products, and they're distilled right here in Oklahoma. So support Oklahoma business. Ask your favorite restaurant or bar to carry Wonderfolk Spirits.
Let us help you get on your journey to feeling better and living a more healthy life. Dr. Gumman at Harmony Healing Center is dedicated to providing personalized care to each of his patients. Internationally trained and nationally recognized, with over 24 years of practice, Dr. Gumman is the highest recommended acupuncturist in Oklahoma. Call and schedule your appointment today.
Hi friends. Did you know that over 80 million men and women suffer from hair loss? Well, now there's help. Dr. Victoria Johnson and her staff at Laser Light Skin Clinic are introducing a revolutionary laser hair loss treatment called Alma-TED. Alma-TED uses a proprietary laser that will help stop hair loss and promote growth. For more information, give Dr. Victoria Johnson and her staff at Laser Light a call and stop hair loss today.
You are the most beautiful creation under the sun. Daily Informations. You are going to make Table 14 so happy. And you are being taken away.
All right. At Neighborhood Jam, you deserve breakfast as beautiful as you. So start the day right with scratch-made favorites, morning or midday, every day. Treat yourself to Neighborhood Jam.
You're gonna taste just as good tomorrow.
And welcome back to Mark Rodgers, Rick Heath at Cohiba Lounge, Jenkins and Boyd here in Norman. A great place to have a favorite cocktail, a beer, whatever you'd like, seltzer, and a wonderful cigar like the Smoke Through a Keyhole Joe Washington 70th birthday cigar. Mark, Dylan Gabriel did have a decent game. He was named. He completed some. He missed a wide open touchdown early in the game that I think.
Fumble?
Yeah, and had a fumble. Of course, he threw for one touchdown, ran for another. But it's still, I don't know, wasn't one of his better games.
Well, I think this is a great point and a topic to discuss, is that the eye test for Dylan Gabriel, there's some things that a little bit left to be desired. Not necessarily hitting everybody in stride. He did miss the touchdown in the first quarter, and I think missed a couple of deep balls that he overthrew. Is it the fact that Oklahoma fans are so used to great quarterbacks? This decade, in the last 20 years, Oklahoma's had some of the best quarterback play in the history of college football. Yeah, multiple Heisman Trophy winners. You got a national championship quarterback in there, and I think there's a high level of expectation because at the end of the day, the numbers are there. That's a good day. Yeah. 320 yards. And so I struggle with I think Gabriel has improved. I think his mechanics are better. I love the way that he's carrying out his fakes in the run game and things like that. But I think you just can't expect to have a Heisman Trophy quarterback back there every year. So I think he's playing good enough.
I think he's playing good enough for this team. I do too. Yeah. I agree. He's playing well enough. They do need to give him help. Because he was on the run a lot in the first half.
Yeah. Running the ball makes a quarterback's job a lot easier.
He had 11 runs, and so, now they did get pressure on him. Cincinnati's defensive front was as advertised. They came after him. They came after him hard, so he had to make some adjustments on that, and I think OU and Jeff Lebby made good adjustments on that and kept the Godfather from really wrecking him up in the second half.
Godfather was impressive.
He was. He was good. Yeah, he was through the poor Raymond, the center was, they were having to give him help, and they were giving him help with the freshman, and it still wasn't enough. So, but anyway, OU defense against Cincinnati, I wasn't impressed with Cincinnati's offense.
I think Oklahoma had a great game plan. I think that they really put multiple players in the box and just said, hey, Cincinnati, we're going to dare you to throw the ball. We're going to make Emory Jones be accurate over the middle, not something that he's really good at. And as a result, they came with a lot of run blitzes, and Danny Stutzman continues to show. He's one of the best players in the country. I think he's a guy that could be positioning himself to get drafted in the first round.
I got a new nickname for him.
What's that?
Stutzworth.
Stutzworth.
Yeah, Brian Bosworth, kind of a clone there. He's all over the field.
OU's highly recruited young players are starting to show up. Deshaun McCullough was around the football, but he wasn't real good in pass coverage for that cheetah position. So I think that they've got to think about some things with him there, because against a really good opponent, like for example, you get a slot receiver, somebody lined up on him in the Texas game, it's a touchdown.
Worthy might be coming. That is going to be trouble.
That's a problem.
It's a nightmare for Brent Venables, the defensive coordinator. Yeah. Iowa State's got Rocco Becht coming in, threw for over 300 yards against Oklahoma State in that victory against Oklahoma State. Secondary will be tested because anybody that throws for over 300 yards against a pretty good Oklahoma State secondary, they're going to have some success against OU secondary.
I think OU has done a better job of getting pressure the last couple of weeks, and it's been, if you dialing up linebackers to come bring pressure, you'd like to get it from your edge or you'd like to get it from the interior, but it worked pretty good on Saturday. So I think they can get some pressure back.
They're going to need to get some pressure on him. He's not a great quarterback. He's much like the Jones kid from Cincinnati. A lot of throws up, but we're going to get one or two of them. That's what you would think if you're the OU secondary. We're going to get a pick on one of these guys because he'll throw it up, but still good. The other thing I got to bring up is being there, I was right behind the OU bench, and on the sidelines, Brent Venables is still huddling up over there being the defensive coordinator. Now it's showing up on the defensive side. My question is, overall, when he's over there were situations on the field that they needed to talk to him about, and they couldn't do it because he was over there. So the defensive improvement is there. We can see it. But is it offset by the fact that the head coach is not there making the calls on timeouts, spots, and challenges?
Well, if they don't give a touchdown the rest of the way, then I would say yes, it's worth it.
There you go. That's a very simple thing, Mark. No more touchdowns.
If they, that's always going to be there. I think that's a problem. I do think one thing has been better this year from a 10,000-foot view is that the offense is playing more complementary football, and that's been something that Brent has worked with Jeff Levy on, is that they are trying to create more time of possession to keep the defense fresh. We'll know a lot more about the defense in October and November when they play teams like Kansas, TCU, and Texas. Those are going to be big challenges. And so if they play well against those teams, then I think that this team is well on its way to creating a defense that can contend for titles.
That will roll over and get better and better, and that is Brent's object, obviously, and he's devoting that much time to make it that way, thinking if he can make that defense that good, everything else will take care of itself because Jeff Levy's offense will score. Hey, we have a great new contest. All you have to do is tweet me or X me, whatever you call it now, at Rick Heath 10, and you have a chance to win a $50 gift certificate from the Hal Smith Restaurant Group. That's at Rick Heath 10 on Twitter or X, however you want to call it, and I will select the best text during the game and award that person a $50 gift certificate from the Hal Smith Restaurant Group. All you have to do is be creative at Rick Heath 10 and send it to me on Twitter. And welcome back. Final segment, Oklahoma Sports Report. Mark Rodgers, Rick Heath from Cohiba Lounge, where they will be celebrating Joe Washington's 70th birthday Friday night, September 29th, here at Cohiba Lounge, 7 p.m. Sponsored by Captain Morgan right here. And come in, say hi to Joe Washington, wish him a happy birthday, and get a smoke through a keyhole commemorative cigar for Joe Washington. Mark, OU has had a problem with Iowa State. I mean, John Heathcote had that 3-3-5. He's kind of created that, and it's been copied by other colleges now, but it's been very effective against OU.
Yeah, the 3-3-5 was created to slow down teams that have 5 wide receivers because it's a guessing game with the quarterback of how many players are going to drop into coverage. And if you have really good outside linebackers and edge players, and you can stop the run with the shell of the front three, the 3-man front and the middle linebacker, you got 7 guys to defend the pass. And so you want some beasts in there that can come up and play the run. A big middle linebacker that comes forward and comes downhill. The personnel at Iowa State isn't as good as it once was. It's not as good as it was a year ago, certainly not as good as it was 2 years ago when Iowa State was in the Big 12 championship game against Oklahoma when they were on that big run when they won the Fiesta Bowl. So I think, hey, it's still the Jimmies and the Joes, not the X's and the O's. It's a solid plan against teams that really want to throw the football down the field. So OU has got an experienced quarterback, and I think Dylan Gabriel should be able to figure that out, and they take what's there. It may be more methodical and moving the ball down the field, but it should lend itself to a good running attack, and now we haven't seen that from OU yet. Maybe it is this Saturday, or the short passing game where I think Dylan Gabriel excels in some short passes across the middle, a little drag route here or there with Farouk or Drake Stoops across the middle, something that would get 5 or 6 yards, and then plus with the yards after catch. So I look for that, and they've got to be able to run the ball and protect Dylan Gabriel with this. And, they're going to come with all kinds of blitzes and try to disguise them. So it's up to, as you said, an experienced Dylan Gabriel to make those reads. Well, if Iowa State can stop the run with 3 players, or 4 players, then it's going to be a long day for the OU offense. Yeah. There's not going to be much open in the passing game when you drop 8 into coverage or 7 into coverage. So. Yeah,
and like you said earlier, I think it's going to be a lower scoring game than what we've seen in the past. But we'll see how that works on Saturday. Speaking of Saturday, Kansas goes to Austin to play Texas, and Kansas has won there. recently.
They won the last time they played. That was a great game that went into overtime. Kansas has passed some pretty decent tests this year, I guess you could say. BYU, it's a good win for them. Also beat Illinois at home on Friday night, but this is stepping way up in class against Texas this week.
Well, you know, and the quarterback for Kansas has been doing well, but he hasn't seen a defense like Texas.
He has not. But Kansas, they're good. They're going to score. I think they're going to put some points on the board. If the Texas defense can hold Kansas under 20, then I think that says a whole lot for that side of the football. I mean, and the projected score, if you say Texas favored by 17, total of 64, is probably something around 41-24 type score, something like that. So Kansas will provide some challenge for them.
They will, and hopefully. I mean, I don't have a dog in that hunt. You know, if you're an OU fan, do you want Texas to win until they play OU? I mean, or do you want Kansas to beat them early and get a bruise on them?
I got a text from a friend of mine asked that question today. You always want Texas to lose, so I think that's the consensus.
There you go. Anytime Texas loses, it's good for OU fans. You bet. Hey, I got a wonderful promotion for you. All you have to do to win a $50 gift certificate from the Hal Smith Restaurant Group is to tweet me during the OU Iowa State game, and I will select one tweet that I think is the best, and you will win a $50 gift certificate from the Hal Smith Restaurant Group. That's tweet me at Rick Heath 10. That's at Rick Heath 10, and you get a chance for a $50 gift certificate from the Hal Smith Restaurant Group. Quick prediction: I've got OU 34-22.
I will say, I say Oklahoma 27. It was 27-13 last year, right?
Right.
Let's go, since the defense is better, let's go 27-10.
27-10, 20. I've got 34-22, and hopefully we're both right. Hey, that's going to do it for this week's show. We'll see you next time on the Oklahoma Sports Report.